Roblox is a very vast platform used to play games with your friends and online people. It is an area where people create and make games, ranging from games like Welcome to Bloxburg, Unofficial, Adopt Me, and my personal favorite, and one of the many categories that stand out is horror games, which tends to fall flat most of the time due to the goofy nature of Roblox. So I always put a grin on my face when there's an actually decent scary horror game on Roblox. That's a decently impressive feat that I'm willing to consider. And it especially makes me happy whenever these games on Roblox have a lot of effort put into them. That, or in general, it's just very fun to play these games with a fun group of friends. I do think that is the point of Roblox after all. Playing these games with a fun group of friends can really enhance the experience and make the game that much more enjoyable. Something I think any game can do, not just any Roblox horror game. But who am I to judge anyway? It's not like I'm a certified critic or anything, so why am I talking about these games in the first place? Well, there's a game on Roblox that's become really popular recently, and I've wanted to make a video on it. And that game is known as Doors is a brand new and surprisingly popular Roblox game that has hit the main page recently. The premise is doors. What else are you expecting? 100 different rooms with lots of spooky, scary monsters that you encounter along the way. While the game isn't necessarily scary or pee your pants spooky, there are a lot of moments that can make you jump back and great sequences that get your adrenaline going. But why is this game so special, and why am I here to talk about it today? Well, ladies and gents, I, Chompy, am here to explain all of this to you. So make sure you buckle up, because oh boy, this video's gonna be a doozy. So like and subscribe, and let's get into it. You start in an elevator before you exit and begin all your wacky and goofy shenanigans as you travel through the hotel. Through it, you will find many different rooms and lots of different puzzles, as well as scary and spooky encounters, like this one. Yeah, I'll be spending Robux on this one. That was not a good way to die. Yeah, so before we get any further, I should probably bring up and mention the monsters. The creature you just witnessed gruesomely murder me was named Rush. If the lights flicker, you have to hide inside of a closet, and if you don't make it in time, you die, just like in this clip. Then there's this nerd named Screech. What he does is hide in the dark like a coward and come out to leech off your health until you die. And the only sound of indication that he makes is this. Then there's Eyes. Just don't look at him and you'll be okay. It's easy. Then there's the figure, but we'll talk about that jerk later. Then there's Seek, but I think he deserves his own segment. Then there's Ambush, who's similar to Rush, and you need to hide in a closet when there's blinking lights, only he comes around multiple times. I don't have a good clip of me successfully doing it, so here's one where I die. Then there's Halt, who's apparently a really big pain in the butt for speedrunners, but you just have to turn around when it says turn around, and you should be fine. It isn't that hard, and it's a decent part. I just heard it's not fun for speedrunners. And finally, dear little Timothy. Then after more wacky shenanigans that you go through, there are multiple puzzles that you need to complete, such as this one. Simple. Just look through the dark and try to find a lever that opens up the door. This one should be easy if you have high brightness or good vision. Tragically, the Duolingo man was murdered, so we will carry on in his legacy. May he be remembered. More goofy shenanigans later, and you eventually, at some point in the game, come to a room with a bunch of pictures that you need to rearrange. This is a fairly creative puzzle that's actually enjoyable and uses a bit of teamwork. I think it's good. Then you see a bunch of eyes, and then before long you see even more eyes. Then after cafaddaling along even more, the spooky monster appears. Oh no! And I personally think that this is easily the best part of this entire game. This guy named Seek is trying to chase you, and you need to maneuver your way through all the different rooms, obstacles, and hallways. If you don't make it, you die. This chase is done so well due to the loud sounds coming from behind, and the panicking atmosphere presented in the game. The freaking rave music playing, which is just awesome. And then the room, where there's hands everywhere, and you have to run past the flames and hands or else you'll get grabbed and die. Yeah, when I said that certain games fell flat due to not being horrifying, this is one of the few exceptions due to just how awesome this part of the game is. After you GG easy that nerd, you come to what I believe to be the most stressful part of this game. This spooky man looks like a Demogorgon, and I'm taking this game down. So once you get to door 50, you enter the library of the one they call the Figure. The Figure is blind, and therefore uses his sense of hearing in order to track down and kill you. Your objective in this part of the game is to sneak around the library as quietly as you can, and gather books, which individually add up to a code, which unlocks a lock that gets you out of the library. Now, you know how I said how the Seek chase was very intense? Well, take that, and make it at least 10 times more stressful. And you got floor 50. Now, the thing about this place is that it's a library. There are things everywhere. Cabinets, aisles of books, pillars even. And that can really limit your knowledge on where the Figure is at all times. Sometimes you won't know where he is, even if he has a clear AI path, which can make it quite panicking. But let's suppose that you end up getting caught by the Figure. What do you do then? Well, you know how I said that there are cabinets scattered around the map? Well, you need to hide in one of those and play a minigame in order to survive. That minigame being controlling your heartbeat, which on mobile for me, involves tapping on different sides of the screen to manage your heartbeat. Now believe me, it does not sound that challenging, but if you get caught multiple times, it does speed up and it becomes harder to manage. And if you miss a single heartbeat, you get found by the Figure and you die. While I do prefer the Seek chase much more, this is still a really solid part of the game and another reason why you should check it out. After you goof around more and bully Screech for a bit more, you at some point come to this courtyard looking place where I want to address something about this game. This game looks really freaking good. Even for a Roblox game, you can tell that the developers went out of their way to make sure this looked really neat. Everything from the polished look of all the materials, to the shading in each room, and even the different sound effects for footsteps, this game is really well made. Even if you don't find it scary, and even if you don't like it at all, you still have to at least consider the amount of effort that's put into this game, because truly there's a lot of passion bleeding out. But what's this? Whoa! There's suddenly much more eyes everywhere. How could this be? To no one's surprise, Seek is back yet again, and with a slightly different chase. So what's different about this chase is that you go through many more hallways and corridors. Because of this, you need to act faster and think quicker in order not to get caught by Seek. What makes this part of the game harder, in my opinion, is the fact that you have seemingly less time to decide which path you're going to go through. And if you make a wrong decision, it can either harshly slow you down or get you killed. I think it's a really great extension of the Seek chase, albeit I do think it's a little less good than the first one. After you cafaddaling for the last bit of time that you have left, you finally make it to room 100. And what awaits you there? Yippee, the Figure is back! So, as you can see, the Figure from floor 50 has returned to strike back again. This time you have two options. You can either A, run up the railing, like I didn't do, or hide in a closet and attempt the minigame again when he comes by to look for you. After which you need to find a key that opens up a door that leads you to the final part of this quote-unquote boss fight. The control panel. When you get there, the control panel is just sitting there, menacingly. Your final objective is to turn on each number according to what the panel says.
all while the figure is ruthlessly bashing on the door it's somehow stuck behind. You'll have to pay extremely close attention to what numbers you're being told to, or else it'll take a very long time. After you finish the control panel, you have to run up to the elevator. But oh no! The figure broke free from the door! You have to make it up! Hurry!
So, that was the Roblox game Doors. I'd say it was an alright game, lots of good stuff. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, because it really helps out. And I'll see you guys later. Adios. What? Why are we looking up? Huh?
Oh my god!
Alright, what a way to end the game. Congratulations, you finally have bragging rights for beating Doors. And that was Doors. So, what did I think of it? Well, I'd say overall it's a good game. There's a lot of really good aspects, but I mean, that's as good as a Roblox game can really get in my opinion. Now, I do want to talk about some other things that I didn't mention yet. So, first off, they went way too hard on the soundtrack, man. The soundtrack to this game is actually really solid and above 99% of what Roblox has to offer.
That 0.1% goes to Flood Escape too, but I digress.
And like I brought up earlier, the development team behind Doors really put in a lot of effort and love. So I highly appreciate that they put in that much. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Doors. I'd say around a 7 out of 10. Good game. I'd like to see more of it come out in the future. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. It really helps out with the channel. I want to reach 500 by the end of the year. Yada yada yada. I know you don't care. And with that, I will see you guys later. For real this time. Goodbye.